and it's hello from
Hello.
Lynda and me. Hello, Lynda. Where
Hello,
are you today?
Stephen.
My first
Today,
question.
yeah, first question of the day, right, is where are you today? Well,
Where
today
are you
I'm
today?
on an Indian reservation. My husband and I bought an RV about almost 2 months ago now, and we're just, going to different places and seeing like where we like and having a fun time. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would like it or not, to
Okay.
tell you the truth. I was hoping I would, and I really do because like where we are right now, for example, this is our backyard. It's well, you can't see everything, but there's mountains back there, and it surrounds us. We're surrounded by mountains, which is so awesome because my husband was a park ranger for many, many years, way back in
Uh-huh.
the like 70s and 80s, and he really missed it. So it's cool to walk out in your backyard and see a deer, like
Oh,
something
yeah.
I'm not used to
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah, we've got to go to a deer park to see deer. We don't have deer just roaming wild.
Okay.
You can go to a deer park and you can actually see the deer. But to do it in the wild, totally different story. And hello to Cheryl, I think. Who's
Hello.
watching us, and everybody's watching, welcome. This is Just Do It with Lynda and Stephen, and as you can see, we're just doing it. We're actually live, and that's all you need to be to actually reach out and chat with people who become your friends.
Yeah.
Right now, we had an exciting Tuesday because
Yes.
Tuesday was Talker Tuesday. We'd like to talk about the show for a moment.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, so Taco Tuesday, Talk. I know people often think it's taco, like tacos. And so, I thought it'd be fun to do like a play on words and have my Taco Tuesday show. And so this past Tuesday, just a couple days ago, we had our first auditioneers. And yes, I know that's not a word, but I'm making it up. It's a new word, auditioneers. Our first set of people who auditioned to be co-hosts on the actual talk show. So the auditions are going from the beginning of November until close to the end of December. They go, was it 7 weeks in a row? And then at the very, very end will be the semifinals where the two final co-hosts are selected by you, the audience. So what I'm looking for is for you to go watch the show. I don't know if you have a link to the show, Stephen, from
Yeah, I
Tuesday.
do. Yeah.
Okay, so we can put a link in that, maybe in the comments, as well as up in the description. And then place your vote for your favorite auditioneer at tacotuesday.tv. And the votes are coming in. It's really exciting because every single time somebody votes, I get an email. And I'm like, oh my God, people are voting. This is so fun. And the reason I say that is because, how often have you had an idea? And then you thought, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Other people are doing that. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. All these bad thoughts that we have about ourselves. Well, I have those thoughts too. The thing is that I've learned how to just say, you know what? Yes, other people are doing this, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. So why not me? Instead of saying, why me, I say, why not me? Why don't I do it? So I put this idea out there. Stephen was on board for being the producer of the show, which is so awesome. So we have a producer and everything. It's like an official show. It's so fun. And so we had some really great guests, auditioneers on Tuesday, Stephen. And so if I were voting, I do not know how I'd vote. I'm so glad the voting's not up to me because
I'm
I
with
wouldn't know
you
where
on
to
that.
go.
Were you chatted with four people, two in the first half hour, two in the second half hour, and these are
Mm-hmm.
of the 27 who actually put themselves forward to be your co-host.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say that we have four favourites because
So far, yeah.
we couldn't pick between them. It was so good. It was so good, and the
Yeah.
show rocked because it was high tempo and people were actually putting forth their own ideas and their own feelings about what should be part of a good show. And it was just sort of an atmosphere which was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I thought so too. And it's interesting because the first 4 weeks, which are the weeks of November, the Tuesdays in November, basically I'm going to interview the auditioneers, because I want you, the audience, to be able to know like who they are, what they're all about. So then after we go through that first round of, basically introductions of who they are and what they want to see on the show, what kind of guests they can bring to the show, then we go to the next step, which is it's like a semifinals, I guess is what it is. And then those semifinals is where we're going to actually get into a meat of it. So we'll be able to see what an actual talk show with those two potential co-hosts would be like. And so it's going to be kind of fun to see the process. It's an idea I had, no idea how it would work, if it would work or anything. But as our show is titled, Just Do It, I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it and see what happens. If it's a flop, hey, at least I tried it, right? How often do we put things off in our lives and not do them because we think they might fail? What was it, Walt Disney, or I think it was, if you say you can't, then you can't. So if you say you can, then you can. You just got to put yourself out there and do it and check it out. If you fail, I like to say fail equals effing up always inspires learning. So when we fail at things, we can be inspired to learn from it and look at the lessons that we have learned from the failure and then say, okay, I'm not going to do that again, but you know what? This worked awesome. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put more energy into things that did work. That's my take on failing and not trying.
Well, if you've got to try in order to find out whether it's going to work or not. And Talk Tuesday, round one, which was on this Tuesday, was a blast. It was a blast. I was actually behind the scenes producing the show, and I was listening in, and it was very, what's the word? It drew people in to actually watch, which is the magical part. And talking to people watching, thank you to everybody who's joined us today, and hello to Scott and Christopher. And if anybody else wants to say hello, please do. If you want to join us on camera, and you're welcome to do so, if you type guest in the comments, then you will be on camera. Right, okay, and Christopher's saying the only things that stops us is thoughts about what others think. Just do it.
And that's a great point, Christopher, because really I've done a lot of studying on fear. In 2015, I decided to face a fear every day. There's a whole story behind why I did that. But I decided to face a fear every single day. And in doing so, I had a lot of self-realizations and also, studying other people who talk about fear and stuff. And really the number one fear that people have is that fear of judgment. It's that fear of not only what if I fail, but what if I fail and what are they going to think about me? What are they going to think about me if I fail? What are they going to think about me if I wear my hair a different color? I colored my hair purple and blue for a while. And my first thought was what are people going to think if I color my hair purple and blue? But then I said, wait a minute, what am I worried about? What if they think it's awesome? But not only that, it's not that it doesn't matter what they think to me. I just don't let what people think of me adversely affect me. So I listened to it and I'm like, thank you so much for the compliment. Thank you so much for the instruction that, what I did wasn't good or wasn't right or whatever. And, I appreciate people's feedback, but I'm not going to let it adversely affect me. I can positively let it affect me, but not adversely. And that's literally changed my entire way of living my life and no longer living in fear. I lived in fear, such fear for 51 years. And it's just been the last 4 years that I've been coming out of it and learning how to deal with fear. So yeah, fear of judgment, big one.
And the next comment from Christopher, as I bring myself back on screen, is they cannot think because they don't do it by themselves.
So finding counsel, finding someone who is doing what you want to do. One of my mentors talks about it all the time. He says, seek counsel, not opinion. So let's say, for example, right now I'm embarking on an amazing new journey. Stephen, I'm in the process of rebranding myself, and I had a mastermind meeting yesterday. I was attending an amazing mastermind meeting, and during the meeting, I think I got a little bit more clarity on how to rebrand myself. And so, but here's the thing. I'm thinking about rebranding myself. So what do? I go to my mastermind group, which has a lot of people who are successful and doing the things that I want to do. So I go to them and I say, I want to do this thing what's the best way for me to do it? What's the fastest way for me to do it? So I'm not going it alone, because going it alone can be scary. It can be daunting. It can be lonely. But when you go at it, whatever it is you want to do, with people who are already doing what you want to do, but doing it successfully, because there are some people maybe doing what you want to do and aren't very successful. So find those who are successful, and like, see if they'll mentor you. You know, I've reached out to many people and asked, hey, will you mentor me on this? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, definitely, I'm in, because they want to see you succeed. So who can you reach out to who's doing what you want to do that will help to give you that push? Because when we seek opinion from family members, from maybe maybe you still have a corporate job, you know, you're not a full-time entrepreneur yet, and you want to be an entrepreneur, and you seek opinion from them, they don't get it. They don't understand where you are. They don't understand your desire. They don't understand why you want to do what you do. They don't understand the passion that you have. And so what if you were to not reach out to them and say, hey, I'm thinking of doing this thing, and they're like, are you crazy? That's not going to work. Well, instead, you go to someone who's already doing it, somebody who's extremely successful at it, and they're like, hey, here are the steps you need to do. Here is how you're going to be successful doing that. It's amazing. It will change your life.
Wise advice. Wise advice.
Thank you.
So you're rebranding.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about the rebranding that you're going to? It's like being a butterfly, a caterpillar, isn't it? You can't come out the other side as a butterfly. And what's
I like that.
what does the rebranding involve?
I'm a butterfly. Rebranding involves, well, it depends on what you're doing, of course. But for me, it's about rebranding myself. Because, you know, right now I am doing a lot of different things. And I know that, you know, when I ask people, I ask them the question, what do I do? I ask them, like, what do I do? And it's interesting, I get varied responses, because, you know, some people see me as like a live video queen, right? And some people see me as a speaker, and some people see me as a coach, and some people see me like so many different things, because I'm doing so many different things. And so, you know, I was talking to my mastermind. I was like, there's this thing I probably should be doing, and they highly recommended it too. And that's that, you know, I have an ability to help people break through fears. And so one of the things I can do, I can help them break through fears, but give them something to break through that fear with. For example, you know, I've written a collaboration book. I was in a collaboration book. The very first book I was in a collaboration book with some really amazing people. But I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know how to do anything. But to take that first step to make it happen, I joined this group of people who were in this collaboration book, and I did it. I did my first book, and it was a collaboration. So then I took my next step, and I said, you know, well, my mentor, he said, you need to write a book. And I was like, okay, I'll write a book. So I wrote a book based on my year of fears, called The Year of Fears. And so in writing that book, I had an opportunity to then share my words all by myself, solo, and put that book out there. Like, this is my own book. So now I'm in the process of inviting other people to be in 3 collaboration books that I'm working on. And yesterday at the mastermind, what was really cool is I discovered that all the things I love doing, like, I'm a community builder. I love bringing people together. I love helping people break through their fears. I love providing platforms for people to break through their fears. You know, I love doing interviews. So I was like, how can I incorporate all of this into one thing? And so what we came up with is that, you know, what I should do is I should be the person who creates affordable collaboration books. And so by me creating these books and having people, you know, inviting people to join me with these books, it gets to fulfill all the things I love doing. I get to bring together a community. I get to do interviews, because I'll interview them about their part in the book. I'll interview them. So I get to conduct these interviews. I get to help people break through that fear of being in a book. And so there's a bunch of different things that I love doing that are all incorporated into this one thing. And so that's what I'm going to be rebranding on. And I'm super duper excited to be focused on one thing that I'll be doing that can incorporate all the things I love doing.
And are you still looking for co-authors, people to join you?
Yep, yep. I'll probably always be looking for co-authors now because I'll have different books. Yeah, so right now I have 3 books that I'm working on, and all 3 of those books I am looking for co-authors. I'll just say the names really quick. One of them is called The Fearless Entrepreneurs. Another one is called Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. And then the third one is called 13 Steps from Action Takers Who Change the World. I'm sorry, 13 lessons. I don't know why I said steps, but 13 lessons from action takers who change the world. And it's exciting because people are really interested in being in the books. And it's been fun having them jump on board and like they don't have to write a word. I interview them about their chapter. I have a ghostwriter who writes it, and then they get to proofread their section, and then they're like, they're done. And then we launch the book. It's like so simple.
So it's actually, you're actually conducting interviews with everybody, and the material from the book comes from the interview. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, so I conduct the interview, and the interview gets translated by the ghostwriter into a book, something that's what's the word, like palatable, because sometimes when we speak, it doesn't translate as well into written language, and so it'll make it so the ghostwriter will make it so the whole book flows, and it's like one chapter leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next.
Brilliant. Oh, so excited. Stella, Kelly, and a couple of comments from Christopher. Just going back a little bit, a typical naysayer will never relate to the problem they're talking about. We will always put our faces into the fire, but that's what winners do. And the second comment is people who want to change the world or who want to change. So that's it. Good. And right. Okay.
Oh, were they referring to the book title? The book. There's a bee. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, okay. The perils of being outdoor broadcasting. We say hello to Geiger as well. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
I think is it G? Oh my God, that bee is after me. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna run just a little bit.
Right. Okay.
Is it Geige?
It is, yes.
It's Gage. I know. I was like,
Gage.
How do you say the name? Gage. Yeah. Hi, Gage. Good to see you. Right. I'm not sure if Christopher was referring to the book title, but it's if so, it's a 13 less steps, 13 lessons from action takers who changed the world. So there's so many people out there that are changing the world. So if you're a mother or a father, you're changing the world just by being a parent. If you started your own business, you're changing the world by putting yourself out there. So there's so many different ways that we can change the world. It's not about, being some of the featured authors that I have in the book are, for example, the creator and co-founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, he changed the world in a huge way, right? But it doesn't take someone who's changed the world in a huge way to be a change maker, to be someone who's actually changing the world. So if you're like, well, I haven't changed the world, I really ask you to look at your life and the things that you've done and really look at how you have changed the world. Ask yourself, how have I changed the world? Because what will happen is your brain, when we ask ourselves questions, our brain starts to search for the answer. So when I say, how have I changed the world? My brain is going to search for it. Now, the answer might not come to you right then that moment, but it might be tomorrow. It might be next week. But your brain will start searching for that answer.
I know that because you sort of put things on the back burner and all of a sudden you sat there and the thought comes to you, the answer comes to you, you have a moment where you think, that's the answer. And then and only then can you do it. And you've got to do it because if you don't go with your idea, then you're just wasting resources, aren't you? You're wasting time.
Yeah, it's so true. And we have so many ideas every day, right? We have probably 50 to 100, 300. I don't know how many ideas we have a day. But, some people are more actively coming up with ideas than others. But I know I have a lot of ideas every day. The ones that I'm like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. I have lots of ideas, right? They're not all amazing to me. But the ones I'm like, oh, that's absolutely amazing. What I do, Stephen, is I've created an idea box. And so I write the idea down just on a little piece of paper. I fold it up and I stick it in my idea box. And what's cool is if you've heard of the law of attraction, and like what we put out there comes back to us, just by me doing that one little process, what's really cool is every once in a while I'll go through my idea box to see like what kind of ideas I had, and some of them I actually acted on. Some of them I actually did, and I just forgotten about them being in that box. And I look at it like, oh my God, I did that. So it's really fun to have an idea box and say, I'm just going to put this on a back burner for a little while because now is not the time. And then that time might come and pass without you even realizing that that was one of the ideas that you had, however long ago I should write a date on it. That's a new thing I'm going to start doing. Write a date on it. Oh, I had this idea 5 years ago. Look, I already did it.
Well, that's true. I mean, you create a to-do list, and it just happens that you've actually done things. I know when I check back, I've actually achieved some of the goals that I actually set, and that's a good way to do it. It is a good way to do it. So
I like to create too is a to-don't list. These are things I got to make sure I don't do. So whether it's the way I talk to somebody, whether it's because we all have those what we call energy vampires in our lives, people who just suck the life out of us. And so on my to-don't list are some people like, don't spend time with this person, don't go to this event anymore because it was just a disaster, or things like don't go to that store or whatever. There's just like some things I have on my to-don't list to make sure that I don't spend my time and energy in places that I just don't really enjoy. It's kind of fun too, because you have a to-do list, and then right next to it, I have my to-don't list. My to-don't list is very small, by the way. It's not really big, but it's fun to have it.
Right. Now, definitely on your to-do list, and coming up early next year is the Secret Knock.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that event. It's an event called Secret Knock. It's in San Diego this coming year. It's March 11th through 13th. And it's kind of an interesting story that I have on that, because the first time I attended, I was actually terrified to attend because of fear of fitting in. I wasn't sure that I belonged there, that I was the caliber of person, that the people were there, because Secret Knock is the motto is it's expensive, it's exclusive, but it's worth it. Because it is expensive, because they want to make sure that the people showing up are people who are willing to invest in themselves. And so if you imagine people who are willing to invest, it costs $3,000 to attend. So imagine being in a room filled with people who are willing to invest $3,000 for a 3-day event. So what happens is it automatically lifts you to a next level, being surrounded by those people, because their positive energy is different than any other event I've ever attended. It's absolutely amazing. Has literally changed my entire life. Almost all of the people, I'd say probably 90% of the people in my life right now are people that I met at Secret Knock. That's because I've chosen to be around them because of the feelings I get, the positivity, the counsel I get. If I want to do anything that I would want to do in my business, there's somebody at Secret Knock who can help me succeed, because I'm surrounded by successful people at Secret Knock.
That was beautiful, Tracy, of what Secret Knock is all about. Thank you. That's good. That's good. And it's in San Diego next
March 11 through 13. Yeah.
Very good.
So Stephen, tell us what you're up to. I know you're doing a few shows now. You're producing a few. Why don't you tell us like when they all are and who you're hosting them with and what's going on? You got a lot going on now.
There are two things you can look at for later today. At 1 p.m. Eastern, after this show, Cheryl Piper and I will be live on Twitch. Now, for the last 2 years, BeLive.tv has gone directly to Facebook and Facebook only, and thousands of people use BeLive.tv every day to do their shows, including Lynda and I. And we enjoy ourselves, and we get a good quality show. But the thing we don't get is a good quality download, because Facebook restricts us on the quality of the download, which makes it difficult to repurpose. So That being the case, Live TV now broadcasts to Twitch. Now, if you've heard of Twitch, you've probably heard of it as a gamers platform. And it has to be said that 95% of the people on Twitch are gamers, but 5% aren't. Now, when you think that 1 million people are concurrently live on Twitch at any given point, that means that there are 20,000 people on there who are not gamers. They are your first audience. And you can take your audience across from Facebook to Twitch, and for the first time ever, as far as BeLive.tv is concerned, once you've gained a following over on Twitch, you can actually charge. You can do premium services for subscribers. Subscribers can pay you $4.99 a month, and it's the first time we've been able to actually make money from live broadcasting directly.
Yay!
on a too, yeah. I mean, we invested all this time getting to know how to use the systems and being proficient at broadcasting. But this is the first time we've actually been able to make money out of it just by staying on the one platform, two platforms, BeLive.tv and Twitch. So that's at 1 p.m. and Cheryl and I will be talking all about Twitch. And then tonight,
this
afternoon,
so you're going to be on Twitch talking about Twitch? Is that how it works?
That's it. It's better than being on Facebook talking about Twitch, because being on Facebook talking about Twitch, you can't actually share people things. Whereas if you're actually live on Twitch.
Okay.
The other thing is you've got to qualify to actually be an affiliate to actually be able to charge people. And that means you've actually got to broadcast there. So every broadcast you do is part of becoming an affiliate. Yeah. And you've got to do, in rolling 30 days, you have to have 50 followers. You have to broadcast for 7 days within the 30. You have to broadcast for 8 hours. And then the kicker is you need an average audience of 3 people. Yeah. So 3 people actively watching live.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you've got those 4, which are all doable, then you can, automatically you put forward for affiliateship. And at the moment, there are 234,000 affiliates all making money from being live on Twitch. Yeah, that's quite a number, isn't it? That was in the latest report that came out at TwitchCon.
Now, what's your followership? How many are following you right now?
I have 33 followers. 34. 34 followers at the moment. I'm close. I need 16 more. So if anybody wants to hop over to Twitch.
Yeah, drop your link up there, your Twitch link. I don't remember what mine is. If you could put mine up there, that'd be awesome. Maybe put Cheryl's too. Yeah, follow us on Twitch. I don't really know what it means yet because I need to get over there, and I don't really understand too well how to follow people. So didn't you do some kind of like a training or something on Twitch that you can share with us?
You did not something at the moment, no.
Okay.
I mean, we're exploring at the moment. David Burrows and I are doing a Udemy course about it. But we're waiting. We've got the first version of BeLive TV to Twitch. As far as doing the show is concerned, it's BeLive.tv. It's the normal control center that you go into. The only thing is that when you press the go live button, you're going live on Twitch as opposed to going live on Facebook. You can still see the comments. You can still share your screen. All that works exactly as before. Yeah.
Okay. And so you can send, because for people to watch us live right now here on Facebook, there is a link for them to watch the Facebook. So when you when you are using BeLive and you create a Twitch show, for example, in the future, then you're going to have your you're going to have your link for you to be live, and then you're going to have the Twitch link for people to watch you live. Can that Twitch link go on Facebook, or is Facebook hiding that?
No, Facebook. That's a good question. Facebook and Twitch don't like each other. Twitch and YouTube don't like each other, and Facebook and YouTube don't like each other. It's sort of 3 giants all want this live video market that we're part of, which means there's great competition. No, you can post about Twitch on Facebook. What you can't do is you can't promote Twitch on Facebook. So if you were to do an advert about Twitch, then I don't think that would be allowed. but everything else is okay. I mean, Cheryl and I are live at 1 p.m. Eastern, and there is a post on Facebook saying where people can actually find us.
Okay, so last question.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, for example, you post the link to your Twitch show with Cheryl at 1 p.m. Eastern today, and somebody clicks on that link, they're in Facebook, and they click on that link, does it take them straight to your show, or do they have to then sign up for a Twitch account in order to watch your show?
No, it goes straight to the show. You have to sign up. You can watch the show from anywhere. Twitch is Google friendly, and you can watch it without signing in.
Okay.
I think. So yeah, it goes straight to the show.
Okay,
Somebody wants to test that, then please do. The second show today is basically every Thursday at 3 p.m. Jeff Adams show. Jeff Adams goes live, and two of our friends are on there, Lynda, tonight, this afternoon. Cheryl is live with Jeff Adams, and David Burrows is live on the same show. So that's two reasons to watch Jeff. Well, there's three reasons. One, Jeff. Two, Cheryl.
So that one you're producing then, is that correct? You're producing that show?
No, I'm not involved. Not in that one.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And Charles asking me for the guest link for the show.
Type the word guest. Type the word guest, Cheryl, and then you should get the guest link in your messenger. Right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's Charles on Messenger asking me for the link for the show at 1 p.m.
Oh, gotcha.
You wouldn't believe Thursdays are hectic. Because before we went live today, I produced a show for Barbara Van Marnen. Now we are live. Right. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm live with Cheryl. So it's definitely Thursday is just do it day.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just got to make it happen. You know, there's so many things in life that we want to do that we don't do because of, I think fear is a lot of times the reason we don't do things, or like we're overwhelmed. And a lot of times if you look at overwhelm, you can discover some of the things that you can maybe have somebody else do, like delegate to somebody to do, because if you can delegate things that are causing you overwhelm, then it will relieve your overwhelm. And there's so many like tips and tools that I've learned this last 4 years, Stephen, on my entrepreneur journey. It was almost exactly 4 years ago that I left my government job, working for a judge in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, to embark on this entrepreneur journey that I didn't even know what the word entrepreneur was 4 years ago. So it's been awesome learning, so many different things from so many amazing people.
Well, it is about a team, isn't it?
Yes.
When we say just do it, we don't mean just do it alone. We mean just do it with a team of people there to help you and to help each other.
Right.
None of the shows that I'm involved in would take part because if it's not just me, they actually have life and energy because of a team being involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's finding the team that's a team that everybody's working their zone of genius. So, for example, Stephen's zone of genius really is like running the show and producing it, right? Whereas for me, my zone of genius is doing the interviews. I'm not saying that Stephen doesn't have that, but for me, for my show, like when I thought of Taco Tuesday, I'm going to be the talk show host, and so I needed somebody who could run the board in the background, could help with the organizing of everybody and keeping everybody squared away. And that's Stephen's zone of genius. He has other geniuses, but for me, that's what I needed. And so I was like, oh my God, Stephen's a perfect fit for this. Stephen, do you want to do it? And he's like, yes, let's just do it. And so it's finding the team that works cohesively with each other, because you can have, how often have you been with a team where somebody really wasn't a team player? It's about finding the team of people who are team players and having them work the genius that they have. And you know what, as the leader, because I've become a leader, stepped into leadership this last couple of years. And as a leader, you just have to trust that they're going to do it well and not be on their back all the time and stuff. Because when you have to ride somebody to get something done, that's probably not the right person to be on that team. And it's like, find somebody else that can do that, that you don't have to ride. But then if they are the right person and you're riding them, then you're not really stepping into leadership and allowing your team to have their zone of genius and let them be and let them do what they do best.
Totally. Micromanaging anything is the path to madness. And
Yeah.
you become so involved in looking after everybody else, your own bit takes a back seat, and that's not the best way of doing it. And Kelly's got a question,
Yeah.
which is today is, because today is Aboriginal Veterans Day. Are you still on the reserve? If so, did they do anything for it today?
Well, I'm in California. Thank you for the question. I love that. I am on an Indian reservation, and it's in California, and I don't know anything about that. I'm not sure, is that in the States, Aboriginal? Because when I hear and this might be my ignorance, I'll just admit it, but when I hear the word Aboriginal, I think of Australia, because that's, when I hear about Aborigines, it's Australia. But as far as Aboriginal, is that an Indian term? And maybe they're doing something today and I don't know about it yet. I do know they're doing some kind of celebration tomorrow through Monday, but I don't know what kind of celebration it is, because I'm not in that much. Like, I'm literally living on the campground in the reservation. So where I am, we're kind of removed from the rest of the goings on, on the reservation. That's a great question, though. I should find out more.
Yeah. We shall research and we'll report back next week. And just a minute, I'm going to switch to the full screen as Lynda takes a walk around.
Just showing you guys a little bit about my backyard. It's so fun, living in a place where nature is all around. I know a lot of people who, live in areas, in the world that have a lot of nature. But I've been living in a concrete, state for the last many, many years of my life, most of my life. So it's cool to be out here in nature. So beautiful. Just thought I'd show you guys where I am on the reservation.
Brilliant. And Gage has got a question. And what do you find your viewership numbers are like on Twitch versus Facebook?
Ooh, great question, Gage.
It is. And to answer that, okay, at the moment, nobody knows we're there. That's the truth of it. It's the truth. This is beginning again, like we
34
did on
people. 34 people know you're there.
Oh yeah, sorry, right, okay. That's from that, but that's from zero.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can make progress, but you have to take your audience partly from Facebook and get to know people on Twitch. It's just networking. You can't hope for everybody. No, first of all, people who broadcast on live TV to Facebook are happy. So they're not going to go over to Twitch unless they have a darn good reason. So creating that darn good reason is part of my mission by going live on Twitch and actually showing what it can do. At the moment, the audiences are people who know you and people you've got to know. They are less than the audiences on Facebook at the moment, but that may well change over time. So for a moment, I have to say that the numbers on Facebook are pretty darn good. Numbers on Twitch are growing. That is the politically correct answer.
Now what's the real answer? Just
the real answer is that you really got to work it to get numbers on Twitch. I mean, you can get
just like Facebook too. You got to work it. You got to work it. It's like not just going to happen anyway. But it is, what I like about Twitch from what you're saying is the quality is better, so that if you're going to repurpose your videos, then that quality is going to maybe be an important part to your brand. And so that's something to think about there. But the numbers, I don't know. You could. Oh, let me ask you this question, because you know how on Facebook, after we do this video here, we can go to the Be Live in 5 page. We can download this video and then do other things with it. Can you download videos in Twitch?
Yeah, you can download high definition videos from Twitch straight after the show is finished, and there's a one button click which will take your video straight to YouTube.
Okay.
Which is magical.
Is that a Twitch feature, or is that repurpose?
It is, yeah. That's a Twitch feature. Twitch is free. Twitch is free to use. You can download the video, you can upload it to YouTube just by a click of a button. And Gage is on Twitch and has heard organic traffic on Twitch is pretty good. Has to be said that when you go live on Twitch, you meet people you've not heard of before. So the organic traffic is there. People do walk in whilst you're live, and they do. The thing about Twitch is that they're used to being on video, used to chatting and talking in the chat. So when they come across your show, the first thing they do is to make a comment. Okay, and then you show that comment on screen as we do on Facebook, do it on Twitch, and then you can start a conversation with somebody new, and that's always magical when you actually meet somebody new on the show. So
that's cool. That's exciting. I can't wait.
So, well, it's the only thing, Lynda, is just the number of hours in the day. That's the only limitation, because you could be live 24/7. Do you know that? Just to give you knowledge, this is not a challenge. If you go live on Facebook, the longest show you can do is 4 hours. Yeah.
4 hours and 4 minutes.
All right. Okay. There we have a definitive.
Tested it.
All right. Okay. If you go live on Twitch, you can go live for 48 hours.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That is a challenge.
I knew I said it. We could line up people to fill each of the 48 hours and take over as host. Anything's possible.
That'd be fun.
Brilliant. Okay. And
so Gage, go ahead and put your Twitch handle or whatever they call it over there, your Twitcheroo, down in the comments below, so we can go follow you, and then maybe you can follow us back. Like right now, I'm thinking we're kind of trying to do a follow for follow just so we can get our 50. You know, I think I'm at 3, so I haven't been putting any effort into it.
And the thing is that Twitch, we say Twitch is a video channel, TV channel, and Scott is saying he's noticed a cooking show which ran for 8 hours and 45 minutes. So there you have it. Wow.
Are they cooking a turkey? Like watching the cookie turkey.
There are several different types of show on Twitch. One, we all know about the gaming shows, but they do have practical shows. So that's people painting, drawing, building, deconstructing, and cooking. Anything that you can actually video. And Scott's saying that they actually went through and did a whole menu during that show. So some fascinating broadcasts on there to actually sort of chill with and you know, sit down there and just watch and learn.
I love it.
Yeah.
Something new to look at. Yay. Need to add that to my to-do list.
Does it go on the to-do list or to don't?
Yes.
Yeah, a difficult call. But it is a new adventure, and I'm all for that. We live in an exciting time because so many things are possible. And Gage is saying, yep, some people on their regular stream 8 hours at a time daily. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Home from work, perhaps get a beer, sit down and play games for 8+ hours. And that's brilliant. Because it's not, we probably know each other better than we know our neighbours 10 doors down, you and I, because we live in a global village and we get to know each other through doing shows together and chatting together and chatting to our friends. And that's the sort of same thing on playing a game on Twitch. People become close and get to know each other. You know, I mean, it's like we've been doing Blabbing for Britain for 151 weeks now. And as a team of 4 people, we know each other not inside out. We haven't all met. I've met Stephen and John, but I haven't met Peter. And Peter has met John. So basically, but in the virtual world, in this live video world, we can get to know each other well, which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Now, today at noon Pacific time, so 3 p.m. Eastern, I'll be interviewing Gage on my show, Living Live. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, it's Living Live Show. it's going to be a really good show, really interesting. He's going to share with us some of the stuff he's working on. So go ahead and go to Living Live Show, and there's a Get Reminder button there you can click on to be reminded when we go live, and that's noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on that. That'll be fun. But I think that's the same time Jeff Adams' show is, right?
Yes, you do have a little bit of competition there.
Yeah, you're going to have to decide. Or watch one of the replays. Watch one live and watch the other one as a replay. Yeah.
And if I'm wrong about this, Gage into software.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, Gage. I'm not saying anything other than I tested it earlier, and it's good to have you watching the show.
Yes.
Right. Because we're on Be Live, we can't.
Right. It's a competitor, so we can't bring it up. So that's okay. It's okay. Right. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
No, yours.
Well, I was just wondering, what do you have planned for the weekend coming up?
Plans for the weekend. I've got a day off. Well, I'm going to have a quiet day on Saturday and then go out and about, possibly to a deer park on Sunday. What are your plans for the weekend?
Well, I might see a deer or two. I'm actually going to be dog sitting for my daughter. She lives about an hour and a half away from me, an hour and a half. So I'm going to go dog sit for her for about 6 days. Well, she goes off to Mexico and goes to a friend's wedding and has a blast. So I'm excited for her to be able to do that, because often she was scared about having her dogs boarded because she wants them to be able to get out and walk around and stuff and not be kenneled. So she just asked me if I would do that, and I'm like, of course I will, because I love dogs and I hate to see them kenneled as well. Nothing against kennels, but if you don't have to kennel your dogs, it's good to have somebody come in and watch them for you, somebody you can trust and rely on, right? So that's what I'll be doing for the next 6 days, 5 or 6 days. I better check my calendar and make sure I'm there long enough.
Right. And has Gospel says hello. Hello, Gospel. Nice to see you. Gage, you're welcome. And thank you for the compliments to Lynda and I. And right, Kelly has got the stats on Twitch. The world's longest Twitch stream without sleep is 160 hours non-stop.
Whoa.
Now,
how many days is that? I don't even know how many days that is.
That's 7.5 days.
Wow.
7.5 days. Now, I've got a story to tell. This is along the lines of just do it.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Guinness Book of Records?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I was younger, I'm not saying how much younger, I played darts, and we used to play darts every week in different pub. And we played for the darts team, and there were 8 of us. And then we decided that we would do a darts marathon for charity. And we would play darts for 5 days non-stop. Okay? Now, the Guinness Book of Records said that the rules were that you could play darts for 4 hours and take 4 hours off. Play darts for 4 hours, take 4 hours off. All of which means you can only ever sleep for 4 hours because you've only got to be back at the board and play for 4 hours. So we did it in teams of 2. So that's 4 hours on, 4 hours off, and we did that for 5 days. We actually achieved the world record.
Congratulations.
We got to 120 hours, 15 minutes playing darts non-stop. And, it was just, and we raised over $1,500 for charity. So it was well worth doing. And we got on the television and everything. And that I know how it must feel. I genuinely know how it must feel to do 160 hours non-stop broadcasting. I'm not volunteering. Well,
it's I actually do have one of my dreams, and then I will do it. I'm not sure when yet. I was going to do it this year, but I wasn't ready. But is to break a world record. And so the world record that I'm going to break is the karaoke world record. So the rules on that are very tough, much tougher than 4 hours, because for every 4 hours, I can take a 15-minute break. I'm not sure why those are the rules on that particular.
Yeah.
I guess every world record has different rules.
Yep.
Yeah. So every 4 hours, so I get to take a 2-hour break in 24-hour period. Now I can have that 15-minute break move to the next like 4-hour segment, or maybe it's every 2 hours. However it worked out, it was 2 hours off a day total. So like I was thinking, okay, I had it all figured. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll still sing karaoke. You know, I'll just have a really long microphone. I won't take any showers because that'll take against my time. And then I'll try to like accumulate the whole 2 hours, and I'll sleep for 2 hours. But like that's like a total. By the way, the world record is almost 5 days. So I'd have to do 5 full days of 2 hours of sleep a day. My husband would kill me. I was like, but now that I know I could stream the whole thing, how fun would that be? And then doing that as a charity fundraiser too. I was going to do it as a charity fundraiser to raise money to get homeless veterans off the streets. So it's a charitable cause all the way. But I was like, 5 days, that's all. And I can't have anybody sit in for me. It'd have to be me and only me.
Indeed. Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise, right. Okay. Now, I do have to. Well, first of all, Gospel's got a question. Did a live show on Twitch twice, but I cannot see my broadcast.
Oh.
Right. Okay. By default, I hate to say this, but by default, broadcasts are not saved. You have to go. I know. I found out the hard way too, Gospel and Lynda. You have to go into your settings, and in your settings, you'll find store recordings, and you have to switch that on. When you switch it on, your recordings are stored for 14 days. So you must download them within 14 days. And Scott's had the same problem too. And it's not immediately apparent, but you do need to go into your settings to actually change it to store, and then it stores it for 14 days.
Okay, so you have to push the button to start start recording, and you have to download it. Or there's a way to automatically repurpose it to YouTube, you said. So it won't be housed on Twitch forever, but it can be housed on YouTube forever, correct?
Correct. That's totally correct.
Okay.
Right. So whilst everybody goes off, I haven't a problem. Thursdays are sort of turbocharged Thursdays, just do it Thursdays, and I'm off on another show in a moment. So as is tradition, Lynda, would you close today's show?
Yes, thank you so much. Stephen, I know it's 7 minutes. You start your next show. You guys make sure you go watch Stephen and Cheryl on their show today. Stephen will put a link down below so you can click on that and join them. This is the Just Do It show with Lynda West and Stephen Healey. And here's the thing, is in life, we have so many opportunities to do a lot of things, but we put them off due to whatever reasons we have. I like to say just flat out, honestly, a lot of times it's just excuses. So what kind of excuses are you coming up that are stopping you from doing the things that you want to do in life? You have one chance at this life. Every single day that goes by, you will never get that back. And I apologize for the airplane flying overhead, but I am outdoors. But you will never, ever get that day back. So I've declared for my life to spend as much time as possible hanging out with fun people who are positive and uplifting and want to make a positive change on the planet. I would recommend that you figuring out your life's mission that you want for your personal life, and you just live that life. Because once I declared that, I started hanging out with fun people who are positive and uplifting and want to change the planet. So make that declaration and change your life. Change your words, change your life, get out there and just do it.
I totally agree. And from us, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.